JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 26th of October 2022, so yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. Now then, guys, jumping into the charts, so the first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225, so we pushed nicely above that 27,400 territory, we moved above the 200-day EMA, we stayed above it, so in a way, I'm still going to aim now for this downside line. So I'm going to get a little bit more comfortable with that idea. And I'm going to aim for that 200-day EMA. So let's see if we can, sorry, 200-day EMA. I'm going to aim for that downside line because we've climbed above the 200-day EMA. So I'm going to aim for that downside line initially. And then we'll go from there. As long as we stay above this 200-day EMA, then yes, like I said, I will continue aiming to the upside. If we start falling back below this, of course will raise a few concerns, because then maybe we'll have to consider a break of this upside line. However, at the moment I'm pushing away that idea because I'm making some room for the idea of the upside. Now, Shanghai Composite here, a beautiful rebound from this downside line, the one we broke previously. It now acted as a fantastic trampoline here, and we've pushed to the upside. However, in order for me to get comfortable with higher levels, I would like to see a break of this downside line, this short-term tentative downside resistance line taken from the high of the 18th of October. Because at the same time we could see a nice good pop above the 21-day EMA, and potentially more buyers could join in. So let's wait and see, of course, but I would like to see a move to the upside here. However, of course, the market doesn't always do what I want it to do, but yeah, let's wait and see if we can get that break here through that short-term tentative downside resistance line. ASX 200, guys. So we're still watching this barrier, still watching this hurdle. I talked about this before, the 6,807 zone right here, roughly around here, is something that I'm watching because we're currently stuck in a range. In order for me to go to the upside on this one, I still need to see that confirmation break. Yes, the markets are giving us a little bit more positivity than normal, so maybe we could see a bit of a push here, or maybe a bit of a a push to the upside, where even ASX 200 could go higher. From the technical perspective, from the very short-term perspective, we seem to be forming, as I already mentioned, a bullish flag. However, this bullish flag is kind of moving into a range here of some sort. So in other words, until we get the clear breakout through the one of the sides of the range, we cannot really we'll remain neutral, because again we need a clear break through one of those in order to consider the next short-term directional move. The German index DAX, guys. So okay, with here we had a fantastic move. So look, I mean, what I was saying previously, I said that if we stay above this 12,937 territory, I will continue aiming to the upside, where my next target will be this 100-day EMA. And well, we've managed to, yes, we had a false breakout here to the downside, but hey, that's part of trading, that these things happen, so you need to position yourself carefully. We we got a move higher, then we reversed here, found support somewhere around here, I think. Yep, there we go. So found support near this 12,789 and then pushed nicely to the upside. That mainly happened during the US session. So yeah, so far I would say so good. We yesterday we ended the session above the psychological 13,000 mark, and currently on the cash index we remain above the 13,000 mark. So we've reached one of my targets already, the 100-day EMA. My next target now is this downside line taken from the high of the 5th of January. So let's see if we can reach that. I will aim for that level as long as we remain above this 12,937 territory right there. Another thing that I really wanted to see here, if it actually works or not, because again this might not work out. So maybe just maybe we could be seeing here a nice little rising channel, maybe. Let me just see if this is going to be the case. Okay, not very ideal. However, we might look at it somehow this way. So if that's the case, if it is a rising channel, so we have hit already the upper side of it, so maybe a bit of a retracement here could be possible, something like that. There we go. Let me just put this, there we go. So maybe something like this could be possible, but again, still I'm gonna stick to the same rule. If it stays above this 12,937, I'll continue aiming to the upside. If it starts falling below it, well, this of course might raise a few issues for the bulls, but if it starts falling below this little territory right here, below the 12,789, and that's where it could become a little bit more interesting for a few more sellers, guys. So yeah, keep your eyes on this one, but for now I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside. Nasdaq 100, so beautiful move yesterday to the upside, mission accomplished. Boom, we managed to reach my target. Look, my target was around 11,710, but hey, that's 11,670. We'll take that. That's like, we managed to do like 95% or something like that of my move here. Good result, I would say. Now we need to reevaluate things again. So of course I'm gonna keep an eye on this territory here, but I think that it's time to adjust it a little bit. So let me remove this a little bit. So I'll grab one of these lines and I'm going to mark them here. So this high of the 6th of October, so basically that was the previous highest point of October near the 11,660. So we managed to clear that. We're on the cash index, we're currently, actually, by the way, on the cash index, we're currently around the 11,440 right now. So we're seeing a bit of a retracement here. So like somewhere till around here. Okay, that's even better, to be honest, because look, my mission was accomplished yesterday. We managed to reach my area. Now we're seeing a bit of a retracement, which is fine. Maybe a bit of a correction here is quite healthy. So now let's say we can do something like this. Let me just put this on the chart. So okay, yep, so something like this, maybe. There we go. So in a way, if we do see, let's say, a larger correction here to the downside, I will keep an eye on this area somewhere around here. Not maybe specifically this 11,296, but the area around the 11,300. Because we also have, let me just also grab one of these lines. We also have this little hurdle here around the 11,374, which could also be an interesting one to watch. So yeah, if you're looking for some higher levels, guys, keep your eyes on this whole territory. Let me just put yeah, let me spread it out a little bit here. So this is going to be the support area that I'm going to be watching carefully. Also, I think I can draw this, reuse this channel here, and I can draw it right here. Now let me just put this on the chart. There we go. So maybe, just maybe, something like this could work out here as well. So let me just very quickly put this here. There we go. I think it could be a nice one. There we go, guys. So roughly around here. Now, we could be seeing something like that as well. So maybe like another rising channel here. So if that's the case, guys, and we're currently sitting around here, like I said, this 11,440 zone. So maybe if we continue to get a hold up here, then yes, a nice good push back to the upside here could be possible. And maybe where we could end up going towards that upper side of the rising channel. Now, in order to consider the downside, I would like to see a drop below the lower side of this rising channel, and then yes, we could go nicely to the downside. So let's keep that in mind. But for now, if you're not really comfortable, let's say, with this maybe rebound here from the lower side of the this potential rising channel, you could keep an eye on this highlighted zone here between the 11,660 and the 11,710 levels right here. This upper highlighted zone, if we clear it, then yes, this where it could attract more buyers into the game. Dow Jones Industrial Average. So beautiful continuation move to the upside. So yeah, everything's quite beautiful. As I said before, I am targeting that 200-day EMA. Look, the cash index right now is sitting around 31,775 zone. So basically slightly below yesterday's close, but not significantly. So maybe similar story like with Nasdaq could happen here, as they tend to move most of the time the same direction. But yeah, maybe something like this, maybe a little bit of a retracement. Look, in general, you can keep an eye on the 100-day EMA here, shown as the green line. If it provides support, then yes, we'll continue aiming to the upside. For the downside, I would like to see a break of this upside line here, and then we could go from there. Now, DXY, the dollar index. So, yesterday was a beautiful day for the sellers, guys. And look, I mean, I talked about this yesterday, and I said that, hey, wait for this breakout, wait for this move, wait for this break of this upside line. If we do get that, then yes, I'll go to the downside. Look, yesterday when I was running the video in the morning, we were sitting still above it. We were near this 21-day EMA, and I said that if we continue to trade below it, then there is, of course, a chance for this one to move to the downside. But I need that confirmation break. We got that break, great. Half of the mission was accomplished. Because my target is the 110 zone. Well, to be honest, we still have today, so let's see if we can reach that area. Well, actually, don't be surprised, for example, if we don't reach the 110.05 area exactly. Maybe we'll come a little bit closer to that. So, you know, in general, like I said, my ideal scenario is a test of the 110 zone, but we might get closer to that, but maybe not exactly to that level. But again, let's not rush into anything. Let's not over speculate on this. Let's just see what's going to happen. For now, I am leaning towards the downside as long as we stay below this this upside line taken from the low of the 11th of August. Now, gold. Gold, beautiful move, of course. Yesterday was a bit of a roller coaster, but look, I mean, yesterday we were drifting nicely to the downside. But I said that, look, if we eventually stay above this 1645 territory right here, then yes, I'll continue aiming to the upside. Well, this is what I was talking about. Maybe seeing something like a curve here back to the upside, and so far, so good. Okay, one of the targets has been reached again, the 21-day EMA, so that's fine. The question here is now what we can expect further. To be honest, I am still aiming to the upside. I would like to see a push above the 21-day EMA right here, and if we clear that, then my next target is this downside line taken from the high of the 8th of March. Now, this downside line is a little bit on the tentative side, because we only have two kind of two touches here. The other option here is to keep an eye on this downside line slightly higher, and to be honest, very nicely positioned here in relation to this 1682, 1684 levels right here, which I have as a good potential resistance area. So initially I will, so let me just put this on the chart. So initially, I will be aiming for this downside line, the other one. I'll see if it actually carries any weight or not. But then, if we clear it, my next target is around here. So let's see. how this is gonna play out. For the downside, I would like to see a drop below the 1642 territory in order to get comfortable with lower levels, slightly lower levels. Now, WTI oil, okay. I mean, look, we're still in the range. I mean, the same analysis is valid. We keep on trading within the range here. We keep on knocking on the door here of the 21-day EMA, but nobody's opening up. So I think you'll continue knocking on the door here until it eventually probably just, gets annoyed and breaks the door here and just goes higher. However, that's in terms of the upside scenario. That's from where I would look, for some higher levels. For the downside, I would need to see a drop below the 82.59, let me just 54 territory, 82.54, approximately around there, in order to go to the downside. Natural gas, guys. I wasn't I didn't want to really look into it, but to be honest, it's quite interesting because look, yesterday we were holding below this 5.32 area. I said that, look, if we push through it, then my next target is this downside line. This is where we're currently getting a little hold up. Okay, great. The question here is, can we break this downside line? Well, let's wait and see. Weaker dollar could continue, giving some hope here for the bulls. But again, we need to see a clear breakout here through this downside line in order to go to the upside. So the crypto world, finally, there is some life in it. Of course, thank you very much, weaker US dollar. And there we go. We broke on the Ethereum USD here, ETH USD. We broke the upper side of the falling channel. That's great. That's wonderful. However, can we go higher? Now, this is where the problems for me start to arise. So, on one hand, it's great. I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside here. As long as we stay above the upper side of this falling channel and above the this 1,423 territory, if we continue to trade above it, then yes, I will go to the upside. But now this is where I have my obstacles here. So for example, this downside line, for example, right? This is the one that I'm watching right now very, very carefully. I want to see if it's going to carry any weight, if it's going to provide resistance or not. If it will, well, another decline here could be possible. So let me just actually get rid of this falling channel. There we go. Like I said, if we break this downside line, great, I will go to the upside. And my next target will be this 200-day EMA. But if we fail to break this downside line, well, I mean, maybe back to the drawing board, and maybe we could see another decline here. However, my downside scenario could come only on a break of below this 1219 level, so 1,219 zone. Bitcoin Cash. So I have been talking a lot about this. I kept on saying, look, we have a possible falling wedge pattern, which according to all the TA rules tends to break to the upside. Well, it did break to the upside, however, with not with a very spectacular break. So it just kind of gradually it's like, okay, let's go through this, okay, so now it's visiting the outside of this pattern. Okay, great. In a way, more buyers could join in here. However, I don't think that it's not really, that awesome breaks, where probably a lot of buyers could get excited about. So it's for me, looking at this chart, it seems like when a crying baby kind of constantly wants it, like, to go higher, and then the market says, well, okay, here you go, and there you go, you can enjoy the moment, and then the crying baby enjoys the moment, more crying babies join in here, and then kind of the market says, okay, that's enough, and then we reverse back to the downside. So again, look, this is again, it looks like a tease. So of course, if it's gonna evolve into something a little bit bigger, that's great, because this is what I would like to see as well. I would like to see this going actually off the charts, maybe like skyrocketing again. However, probably I'm in that group of the crying babies where I want to see this one going higher. But hey, the market is the one that dictates the rules, so I can cry about it as much as I want, but it might not happen. Anyway, So at the moment, like I said, yes, I'm gonna be leaning a little bit more towards the downside. Oh, sorry, to the downside, to the upside, just from the technical perspective. However, I'm keeping an element of the doubt in it because, again, in general, the crypto world is not the strongest one right now. Now, jumping into a few pairs, AUD, JPY. So we finally managed to break this one. We're currently breaking it, the 94.77 territory. I spoke about that level before, and yeah, if we continue to trade above it, I will go higher. Simple as that. If we push above this, or sorry, if we stay above this, then yes, my next target is the 96.56 territory right here. For the downside, I need to see a drop below the 93.55 level, somewhere around here, and then we could go to the downside. AUD, USD. So, of course, the moment that really enjoyed the bulls here yesterday was the fact that the dollar declined, and yeah, we managed to clear this. Not yesterday. Yesterday we found again resistance near the 0.64, 0.6411 here. But today we're clearing this, and we are trying to make our way to the upside. So let's see if we can get a nice move here further north. And my next target is the 0.6547 territory right here. That's going to be my next target. And also, of course, let's keep an eye on this downside line right here, which in a way could also provide resistance. So, you know, at the moment, if we do see a move higher, this could be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling. But at the moment, from the very near-term perspective, like I said, I am keeping an eye on the 0.6411. If we continue to trade above it, I'll go higher. USD-CHF, so this one's drifting nicely to the downside. Look, I talked about this pair last week. I said that keep your eyes on this highlighted zone, which so far has been providing good resistance, and it did so last week. As you can see, we had a false breakout, and then boom, we drifted back to the downside. So yeah, now the question here is, can we see a drift back down? So at the moment, I will say I'm looking at the 0.9916 territory right here in order to go lower. So this is going to be my level to watch. Another thing here, maybe, again, this is a big maybe. Maybe this could be seen as a double top pattern here, with the neckline being somewhere around here, near my level, near the 0.9916. So all this could play out nicely. If this is a double top, then yes, a break through this neckline could open the door towards some lower levels. I'm not going to be ideally, I'm aiming for one of these trend lines here, but I do understand that both of them are tentative, so maybe initially we just have to kind of aim for this 0.9781, and then we'll go from there. USD CAD, very quickly on this one. This one's already breaking lower, so good news, I would say. So drifting below the 1.3606, sorry, 1.36 territory. Look, yesterday I talked about this, and I said that one of my targets has been reached here, the 1.36, although I was aiming for the 1.35 territory, but hey, 1.36 was fine as well, and now we're clearing that one. If we stay below the 1.36, my next target is the 1.35. USD TRY. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's just kind of not doing anything. However, it's one of those scenarios. It really looks almost like one of those, you know, countries that fix their own currency to the euro, and just kind of keep it flat in order to show stability and everything like that. So this is the moment here with the USD TRY, kind of. It seems like the rate so far is kind of fixed. Just to this, like, not to a specific number, but just to a range, fixed to a range. At the moment, yeah, like I said, let's. Of course, we're waiting for this maybe to make a bigger move. At one point, it will have to make. I'm betting. I'm probably going to be guessing here, but I'm hoping to see something like a bigger move here before New Year. The only question here is, of course, which way is it going to happen? Will it be an explosion to the upside here, or will it be a move to the downside? Well, ideally, of course, I would like to see a move to the downside. However, will that be the case? Well, let's wait and see, guys. GBP USD, guys. GBP USD is yeah, moving nicely and knocking on the door of the upper side of this range. Let's see if we can clear that. At the moment, yeah. At the moment where it seems to be like good news here because of yesterday the GBP USD popped higher, not only because of the weaker dollar, but also the market, I think, welcomed the new Prime Minister, again, the new Prime Minister of UK. Let's see if that's going to last for longer than 45 days, but yeah, that's going to be quite interesting to see how everything goes further. But from the technical perspective, looking at GBP USD, yes, it is knocking on the door of the upper side of the range. Let's see if we can break that. I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that we might get a break. However, I should not rush into this because, again, surprises happen, and that sometimes is, you know, painful. So just kind of be careful with it. Wait for that breakout, and then we can, you know, do something about it. Now, oh, by the way, in terms of USD CAD, by the way, guys, keep your eyes on today's news. We have the interest rate decision from the Bank of Canada. The previous number was 3.25, so plus 3.25%. Now the expectation is for a 4%, so 75 basis points rise. Let's see if that's going to happen or not. But yeah. This pair could be an interesting one to trade, but be very careful. Just probably wait for the news to come out and then do something about it. GBP CHF, kind of smoothly jumping back into GBP, is also knocking on the door of this resistance barrier. Look, I talked about this, and I was talking about this previously, and I said that, hey, maybe you know, a nice good bullish flag is getting formed here, and in a way it was. But I needed that confirmation break through this 1.1410 zone. Well, so far we are just getting a flirt here. We did get a breakout, but it's just kind of stuck here still. So I need to see a stronger move above this in order to go for that 200-day EMA. For the downside, I would like to see a drop below the 1.1209 zone, somewhere around here, in order to go lower, because at the same time we would drop below the 21-day EMA. EURUSD, so EURUSD, it is, yeah, it's still also knocking on the door of the upper side of the range. Not doing anything here, I'm just observing this. I mean, I need that confirmation break, guys. I'm not really gonna jump into anything unless I see a stronger move here to the upside. For the downside, yes, the break through the lower side of the range is required. And finally, EURUSD. So EURUSD managed to get that move. There we go. We got that push through the upper for the downside line here, guys, and there we go. This is attracting more buyers, or should I say, could be attracting more buyers. We found resistance around, or almost found resistance near this 0.9999 level, or the psychological 1 level. So if you want to go higher, guys, well, you can wait for a push above above that psychological 1 zone. If we get that, then yes, I will go to the upside. Initially, I'll aim not for this level, but for the 100-day EMA. Initially, I'll aim for that. That's going to be my next target. And if that gets cleared, the 1.02 area, that's what I'm going to be aiming for. But at the moment, I am carefully watching that psychological 1 level. And of course, I'm keeping an eye on the DXY. So guys, that's it for this session. I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your views, your likes, your comments, guys, everything. I really appreciate that. So thank you very much for doing, for sticking around here. Yeah, I hope, like I said, I hope you found it useful. Just, yeah, simple as that. I really hope you found it useful. So if you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, that's 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.